Good evening and welcome back now to CSGO part of the day. I'm your caster and we of course joined one more time by V.
Hello.
What we can talk about now is week 8, second to last. This is going to be real fun because we have a great matchup on our hands today and we can check out the schedule as well to see what we're going to see this week, as the first game is going to be Team Refuse versus Zalgiris. So two Latvian, I would say even giants at this point, because Zalgiris, they have, sorry, Lithuanian, yep, that is correct. Zalgiris, they've proved themselves a lot, but I think this could be one of the times that they could get kind of, stumped, I don't know.
Well, they're going to be challenged once again against a very strong team, and this is really an important match for them because they do need to show themselves how they can stand against these bigger titans that we have in this tournament. And obviously they need to prove themselves as well that perhaps losing against eSports was just a fluke. Yeah. And Team Refuse, a very strong team as well, is another opponent that needs to try to beat.
And not only a strong team, but they have a new addition. So Boo is out, Carcass is back in, and I'm thinking that could be, I think, a bit of a worse situation for Zalgiris, since we know how Carcass plays.
Well, it could be a worse situation than it was before, but I think it's actually going to benefit them at this stage, as obviously perhaps Team Refuse were expecting to play against a certain style, and with the addition of Carcass back again, that style can quickly change. So perhaps I'm expecting Team Refuse to be slightly shaky if Zalgiris starts off well.
Okay, that could be the case. So that we're going to see today, two best of ones, and tomorrow we're going to see Aesthetic versus XGR. I think they're the bottom teams at the moment, and as you said, Aesthetic, they just need to prove that they're not to be messed with.
Yeah, once again, I'll repeat what I said before. They just need to prove themselves that they're still a force to be reckoned with, and obviously prove to others. It's still for morale, to achieve a morale boost. I still think it's a very important win for them to gain. As for XGR eSports, not really sure what to comment in terms of where they stand right now. I mean, they've been backwards and forwards with the whole situation of them.
The 1-1s that they had.
The 1-1s they've been having, as we've talked already before, they're in a place where they technically shouldn't be, but the tides have changed, unfortunately, not in their favor, and therefore they are where they are. So same for them. I mean, for them, obviously, they want this win, and they want to gain at least some amount of confidence back and understand that it was just an unlucky streak, and perhaps slightly work on them closing out matches. Yeah,
that could be the case. And then after that, we're going to see Vortex versus eSports, a match that I've been waiting for almost all season, because we've seen Vaz play against XGR, we've seen Vortex play against XGR, but they haven't seen those two teams. And Vortex at the moment, they've been having really good games, and I'm thinking against eSports, it's almost the same as Team Refuse versus Zalgiris at this point.
Yeah. Well, I'm also curious to see how this matchup would work out, as obviously a domestic matchup in any scenario there is going to be some sort of tension there, at least in this part of the world. There usually is, even the CIS region. You can see that in their domestic duels as well. So curious to see if there's going to be any banter going on in the chat. Usually you see something of sorts. Unfortunately, none of us, as far as I know Estonian, so won't be able to comment on what's going on. In general, I still expect eSports to take the match overall, as they do seem to be the more solid team. But Vortex, as always, do not underestimate your opponent. So they can still take out a wild card and take them by surprise, at least on one map.
Yeah, all that you said is correct. And now we're going to see that on Thursday, we're going to see Malco versus Skinlords. We have 3 matches where you have like the best one region team against the second best team. In a way. So I'm really looking forward to see if Malco can repeat what they did against Team Refuse when they beat them 2-0 against Skinlords, because Skinlords, they are at that top 4 at the moment. They need to stabilize there, and against Malco, it's going to be a tough one.
It is going to be a tough one. I can definitely agree with that, especially we've seen Skinlords being slightly shaky before. I actually had a chat afterwards with some of the players there, and they knew themselves as well that they messed up on that second map last week and messed up badly. Actually, one of the players admitted that he was raging already since match 1, so we were right on that tilting aspect there. Not necessarily that they were tilted, but the emotions probably got the better of them, and therefore perhaps the result. In this matchup in particular, I feel like it's going to be the same scenario. It is going to be a tilting match either way, as obviously you have slightly elevated ego on one side, and on the other side, very eager people to prove others wrong. So it's an inevitable scenario where someone's going to get tilted at least some way.
And then we're going to have Team Supply versus Not Like This. We've seen Team Supply struggle. The same with Not Like This. They had some luck in the past few weeks. Team Supply as well just played in the GOEXANIMO tournament and they got to second place.
Yeah.
So they should have their confidence back at least to some stage, so they could prove that in the last 2 weeks they can win and get in a better spot in the standings.
I feel like Team Supply is probably feeling confident going into this matchup, as obviously coming off of a LAN and securing at least second position in any sort of LAN tournament is still some sort of a confidence boost that's going to allow you to play more aggressively, perhaps even overthink certain things. I'm sure you can always see that something changes in a team on LAN, and it's also a team bonding experience, so perhaps those were those few elements that were missing for success. As for Not Like This, it's hard to say. I'm going to say this matchup is probably going to be dependent on the map picks in terms of how Not Like This is going to perform. As we've seen before, where they can start off matches very confidently, but can they close them out? And that seems to be the issue.
And one more issue, at least for Team Supply, is that they have only played, if I'm not mistaken, 3 maps: Mirage, Train, and Inferno. That's the only maps that they played. So maybe Not Like This can bring out a map that Team Supply can't play and they can prove themselves.
Well, as we spoke before, I would like to see more Overpass, for example, or something out of the ordinary that's not being played that often. Nuke is still a very debatable scenario.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, it's a huge wild card. I don't think it really pays off that much for any of the teams to risk it that much and to take it to that extent. But who knows? I mean, people even play as in practice secretly sometimes. I've experienced it myself as well, where you play against a team expecting them to play certain maps and they just suddenly pick a map that, well, you're sort of prepared for, but you haven't practiced that map because obviously you've been seeing them playing only a few maps in a row. So curious actually to see. They still have time for it to prepare, so let's see if they take my words and try to do something like that. And
as well, we can check out now the matchup. These two teams, Zalgiris versus Team Refuse. We can now see the players as well on the screen. We don't have Karkas's picture, but we have his nickname, so we can see the both team players and as well the maps that we're going to see. So Cash, which should be map for Zalgiris, definitely, because I've seen how they play it. They play so calm and collected, always play for retakes on Cash, so I'm eager to see if they're going to continue that in here. And if Team Refuse will pick on that and have seen that, can they play against that? Where you move inside, there's no one, and then they just run in. I'm sure same as
same as we've had other domestic like Latvian duels. You sort of in your own country know how certain players are playing, so you're probably at least have a good understanding in terms of how things are going to go on the map, and yet still, of course. Even if you read your opponent well enough, if their retake is good, it completely throws off teams. So I definitely agree that Catch is going to be a map where Zalgiris can definitely put up a strong fight and have the potential of winning the map. In terms of Cobble, I don't know. We've seen some pretty strong stomps from Team Refuse against other teams on it, you know. So I do personally favor Refuse on Cobble. So I do feel like it's going to be
Cobble,
a 1-1.
Definitely, but you're saying 1-1, so the Zalgiris will take Cash.
I feel like eventually they will take it, but same as other teams if they start off good. If Team Refuse starts off as they have previously, having a very solid, actually insanely solid defense, then I don't think Zalgiris will have the mental capabilities of coming back and just having that composure and holding their pushes. Because in terms of Cash, it's fast rotations, fast switch up and paces.
Yes, exactly. So the mid control and everything else, you can move to A side and B side so fast.
Correct. And if you're playing retake on that map, I mean, I don't know how confident are you in your retake, because sometimes you literally just don't know what the terrorists are doing unless you are pushing for information, but that's a gamble, you know. So
that is true, but for now we still don't have all players ready, so we're going to head into a small commercial break, but when we come back, Cash between Zalgiris and Team Refuse. And we're back from our short break, and we're looking to be ready to jump into the matchup in cash. I already heard your predictions. It could go 1-1,
yeah.
But I want to hear numbers on this one.
Numbers on this one. I'm going to go say it's going to be 16-12 in favor of Zalgiris if they start off good.
And if they start on CT side, do you think?
Yeah, if they start on CT side and if they manage to get a solid hold, it's going to be 16-12 in favoring them. If it's going to be vice versa, it's going to be a lower score, and I'm going to say it's going to be probably like 16-9 favoring Refuse.
Okay, so it's very important for Zalgiris to start on CT side, do you think?
Yeah, definitely, I agree with that.
Okay, so let's see, the knife run is already ended. The Zalgiris won it, so they can start on CT side.
If they decide to do.
Yeah, because time to time, some players at least like to say that it's a bit easier to play on T side on cash because you can have that control over the map a lot more.
That is one thing. Second thing is it obviously relieves the pressure in terms of just on yourself. If you get at least 5 rounds on T side, which shouldn't be too hard to do on cash, it's going to give you a mental boost in terms of understanding that this is not so bad. We just need to now play a solid half and not make too many mistakes. Because you can even allow yourself for a mistake or two in that scenario, as we're going to see.
But they start on CT side. Let's see if they start off strong. Will they be deep in the sights or will they be out of the sights, as they time to time like to do, especially if they're playing as CT and with that USPS, there's that one-tap potential.
You can see Walkman is going to be actually probably peeking into the... I don't know, he's going to be holding for the push. Here's the players and it's going to be dropped instantly.
But Dreamus here, he got one, but he can get more. And only now Tendros has rotated and the rotation has started from Zalgiris. And this time the retake won't work because they're going to be 2 against 4. Very fast. We saw how they entered the sites.
This is exactly that confident play I was talking about as Reggie and Eniho now left in a retake situation, 2 versus 4. Reggie finds the first one and slightly damages the second as Halflex takes Eniho's life, and now only Reggie left. Can he do this round? It doesn't look like, as he's being pushed and actually going for the knife fill, and they get the knife.
Halflex, he already starts off with the bad manner plays already.
Economy, man. It's all about economy. Now they're going to be buying up the Mac 10s as well and just trying to gain this insane fast advantage as much as they can. And just off this knife kill alone, if they take these remaining 2 rounds, that is Team Refuse, if they take it, I feel like they're at least looking at a very solid half. I'm going to predict probably at least 8 rounds.
Oh yeah, at this point definitely, but you can see you talked about Mac 10s being picked up, only 1 is being picked up, so they want to make sure they take this one. And we can see already Zalgiris, they like to do this one, and Eco pushing up front pretty close to A main. He's going to hear some noise towards middle, but there's not too much information he can gather from it. Now as the Molotovs come through, and they're going to move into middle, and Reggie with the Deagle, he could potentially stop at least 1 player here. That could already be a win, and he sees the head move into the vents, as now already Butters dropped down, but he won't spot Dream. Is going to be Walkman with 1 kill, and now they're going to go towards B side, but they don't know. The Dreamus is here, 2 kills already going Zalgiris' way. And finally, they shut down Dreamus and Walkman here from this position. I think as he shoulder picked, he was spotted. But luckily for them, the players already rotated, not even that. And Eco coming in from the back lines as well. So he could do a lot of damage here if he's not spotted. But, my God, Pawn with the bomb, waiting for the player to come through. He does not get the timing right. He still gets the kill. And now 2 Deagles against 3 AKs as Team Refuse back off from the B site. And only Halflex will remain there for the information.
Walkman did a really good job there of stalling the terrorist players as much as he can. A little bit of exchange going in between Reggie there and who's that? Halflex. So Reggie left on very low HP. Centron's still there. They want to get this AK at least from this round, but a team kill coming through on top of the knife kill in the first round is going to be devastating news.
He had the perfect crosshair placement to get Halflex there, but unfortunately, I believe it was Centrons who just ran in front of him.
Oh my, you can see a bit of banter going in all chat currently in between Lithuanians. Something about kebabs, not really sure, but yeah, they're having a laugh.
I guess some kind
of
inside infos or inside jokes that we don't know.
Probably something we're not really fully aware. Butters and that's also going to be Ikas now moving into A main. Is probably going to be a hard, fast A push. As you can see, most of the CT players are around the short area. They're just trying to damage the players as they're slowly coming in. First kills are going through, and Butters gets the kill with the MAC-10 and is going to be dropped instantly. As Pone finds one, and Halflex, another player, and only two.
They're headshotting them. You can see they're pretty low, and here even Dreamus takes down the player. I thought if Walkman would survive, this could have been around even for Zalgiris to those USPSs. Because as Team Refuse were moving to the side, the instant headshots came in. Centrons even did a lot of damage before he went down.
Definitely. Well, you can see that both teams are very eager to win these rounds and also willing to win in a very confident fashion. So obviously their morale boost their morale in terms of Team Refuse is on point. Let's see if CTs can play up to their name and play that solid CT half and see what they decide to do.
As we can see now, they this time put a lot more emphasis towards middle, as they won't have that control. We can see Team Refuse as well. They have moved all around the map, so they know that there's no aggressive push coming through. And towards middle, I think Halflex already has heard a lot, and even now Butter is moving in, taking down Reggie. Only 2 players will be left there, so Halflex is going to have to deal with them. Because if he peeks out here on the edge of the smoke, he could potentially get Centrons.
And Butters is lining up a smoke, and off that first initial entry, there probably like a good 20 seconds have passed now as Centrons will actually find Halflex. And Butters doesn't get the kill on Dreamus. Dreamus left with only 15 HP, and now it's a 4 versus 3 situation as instantly Ikas carries it back and gets another kill on Centrons as well and gives his team the advantage. There is still an AVP on the CT side though, but the bomb is towards B and there's only Walkman there. Can he do this? As he will drop the first player, but gets instantly dropped, and now only Anyho left with the AVP.
He was pretty close to vent room, and he heard them drop in, and he had to know there's going to be more than 1 player dropping there. And he still stays that close and only gets 1. Very unfortunate. And Anyho, at this point, he did drop down the op to go for this retake, so he's going to go for 1 against 2 here, as Carcass instantly finds the player. So 4-0 in favor of Team Refuse, and they're looking pretty solid.
Well, that was Walkman on B, I believe, who was in this position. Like being in an off-angle position like this, 1 or 2 players is fine. There was still the 3rd player there, and they should be aware that they're all going to be pushing at the same time. So it was a very risky position to be in at that stage, and obviously didn't play off. Now another eco round. Ikas already dropping 2 of the CT players, and can he get more as he is being damaged back and is left on 20 HP only? You can see the Deagles are doing damage, and they're just...
He almost got the kill even there, dropping down Ikas to 2 HP, and here Centron's very unlucky. He does not catch out the player who killed off his teammate, but here he can't even get that. All 5 AKs saved, and Team Refuse looking better than ever. As Zalgiris yet to see anything flashy come out. Now this time 2 ops. If one doesn't work double, you can always try it. And
actually Zalgiris is giving us the tactical timeout already nice and early. So happy to see the teams are using this, as obviously they do need to make changes. Team Refuse on a roll currently, and they want to do the same thing they did in Cobble in last week, where they get a very solid start, do not allow their opponents to breathe at all. You can see they've pressured the CTs going into a double AVP setup. You have an AVP on Walkman as well, an AVP on Anyho, excuse me. So most likely one of these players is going to be looking for some sort of entry
I'm thinking
to just quickly take advantage of it.
If Team Refuse have seen the demos and have checked how Zalgiris play on this map, will they suspect the double up coming out and going to go for aggressive push, just all players in one site?
I don't think they would be expecting something like that at this stage, perhaps later on in the game, but yes, they should be wary of the fact that that is a possibility, and they don't look like they're taking any chances. Actually, CT is going to be pushing into main as Ikas drops 1. Can Reggie do more work? As Reggie actually gets 3 kills there.
And Nico unfortunately goes down, but Reggie, he has done so much already. It's going to be 3 against 2 retake. This is the sweet spot for Zalgiris, as we still see Carcass trying to find some players with the op, and here through the smoke, I thought he's going to take the shot. But Carcass still yet to save his teammate so he can plant a bomb. You can see Pone still looking for kills. He sees where the players are. He misses him. But they're not even going for the plant, as they feel kind of pressured at this point. They don't know
Reggie being a huge menace in A main, and obviously they don't know if he's going to be coming back through there or not. The bomb plant will go down, and let's see how the retake famous team will do this round.
as it looks like they have opened the door, I think, just to play with them, as Karkas finds one, and now two players coming in from CT. Dreamas instantly gets taken down by Karkas, and now he's going to check, but there's Walkman with the kill back. He does not have the defuse kit, but I believe there's one in the site. As he pushes forward, he misses Pwn. You can see the confidence come in here, and he pushes through the Molotov. Great idea, but still Pwn manages to get the kill, and even the op saved now for defuse.
A very solid attempt there. Unfortunately, I feel like that last jump, as he was already running through the Molotov, actually put off his aim slightly. He shot like two bullets before he started hitting the player, so therefore slightly unfortunate there. But already 6-0 from Team Refuse, so a very strong start for them. They did double nade A main, that is, and couldn't find a player yet. Is Reggie pushing through once again and gets dropped instantly, and Ikas gets anyhow as well. So it is a slaughter, and the CZs currently are doing no work.
I feel like Team Refuse, they know what's expected in A main already. At week number 8, they have to. And I don't know if Karkas spotted the player come through as he misses the head there, but now he finds it. And I like the fact that Karkas stayed in T-spawn just in case.
Yeah, obviously,
because they know that 4 players can take the site if needed against an eco.
As I say, usually in these sort of anti-eco situations, just in case is probably the best case that you can have against any team. As obviously you've seen so many crazy things come out of CT players that are ecoing, not in this particular match, but in general. Yeah. So obviously you need to be wary of every little situation that you can come across. You can see Karkas still checking T-spawn, making sure nobody has slipped by through middle, but the CTs will be saving this armor and the fuse kit that is on Centroids, and both of them still have CZ, so they're very interested to save these weapons. For next round, I feel like there's not much... Zalgiris should understand that Team Refuse are not really having currently that big of a mid presence, and they could try and play aggressively there. I would suggest perhaps even try and boost the player up to see over. That probably is a possibility they could try it. Pwn actually will find Walkman eventually here. Now only Centron's left his position is known, and Butters does drop him, but was dropped in return down to 10 HP.
When Zalgiris, when they get the buy round against Team Refuse, they try to get the early kills. They move into the A main, either go towards middle, where they have at first game control, then lost control. And I feel like they should just, I know, be patient with it.
Yeah, there is a technical pause coming out as Butters seems to be experiencing a loss on the server. So there is going to be a slight delay here. Apologies for that. Yeah, we can talk about the matches. I don't think Zalgiris should be pushing anymore, to be honest with you. They need to try and play something else, as obviously there is another double AVP setup coming out from them.
I'm thinking about those retails because I haven't seen them in play, because usually when they hear anything coming towards A main, they get back, they get towards car or towards highway and play from that and just wait for their teammates to come through so they can retake site, either the left 4 or 5 even. And
well, it is understandable why they would want to go for these pushes. They want to take over the pace of the match and obviously dictate their own rules. But Team Refuse currently are just so aware of everything that's happening that it doesn't look like it's going to happen for Team Zalgiris in this instance. So they obviously need to switch it up and see perhaps they can just have a solid hold. I mean, they still do have these 2 AVPs and should make work. I would suggest if one of the AVP obviously is going towards B, they should peek into B lobby, and if there isn't anyone, the AVP should be left guarding it, and therefore allowing another player to rotate and perhaps even find an entry or some sort of scenario.
I always like in cash you can put 3 players towards middle, and almost at no point you will have 1 player on each side, because from highway you can rotate easily towards the A side, as well from the vents drop in. So I'm thinking definitely they need to put, I guess, Walkman towards B and Echo towards the A side. Put M4s towards middle and just play on from there. Do you think that could work?
It's definitely worth a try. I mean, as I said, they don't have mid presence from Team Refuse too much, so obviously they still need those 3 players need to be active in middle and look for some sort of kills. And
Walkman he finds first. So Karkas going down. The enemy op is now shut down. I thought one more time they're gonna go for aggressive peek, really, but they managed to win it. And here Ike is still checking for some kind of information to come through, as he's waiting for the AWP player to show himself. And now it looks like Team Refuse, they want to play through middle. It's going to be an Echo there, who kind of gets shut down as he can't peek in, but now he's going to have his teammates to secure this. And as the Molotov gets dropped down, he can play from this position. He did spot a player, but with 42 HP, he can't do too much. You can see already Team Refuse one more time, the aggression coming through. Let's see if Butters can find anyone here. Zanicho finds one more player. So now it's going to be 5 against 3.
And instantly the smart move from Eniho to fall back after the skill, understanding it's a 5 versus 3 situation. The terrorists are very pressured to go all together, so most likely there is not going to be any extreme flanks happening. And you can see they are still holding this mid position as Reggie now drops Poon and is probably, actually most likely not aware of Haflex's position here. So let's see if Haflex can sneak by and perhaps find some sort of entry, as it looks very unlikely so far for Team Refuse to take ground. And Zalgiris, a comeback, I hope, as it is still 7-0 and there's only 30 seconds remaining here.
And here Tentrons even knows where to look for Haflex. As Zalgiris at this stage, they do have the money for the next buy. He's going to still look for the kills just to get any single money he can get off of Zalgiris. But still, he gets only one. Even an AK stayed in double up, still in the place for Zalgiris. And this stage, well, the entry worked out. Team Refuse were kind of not that careful around middle.
Yeah, they were stopped instantly off that entry as there was no real trade potential there, having 2 players towards B, and the AVP actually crossed back into B side with no damage taken. So you can see accordingly that the round instantly crumbles. The question is, will they do something like this again? Is that you can see Walkman being boosted up from B side to look into Sunroom, and he will not find a player there. As you can see, it is going to be a fast A split from doors and A main. There is information about doors being open already, and the CTs are extremely passive on A. You can see, who's that here? Reggie just shoulder checking from car, seeing if anything's happening from main, but the site is going to be instantly taken from this. So
this is one of the usual setups for Zalgiris, to have Reggie here, and now even Tentrons rotating just in case they need some help. And Nico Steer kills through the smoke looking for the kills, but he does not get the timings right. Reggie already went down, but there is Tentrons with the trade back, and Carcass missing the op shot. As you can see, Team Refuse, they're already pretty deep in. And even here, Hafler just playing around the smoke. It's going to be a tough one if they don't check this position from highway, but they will. And here he spots the op player, and Nico going down. They know where to look for Hafler, but now with the flash, he can move forward, but Dreamus pushing from the highway. He's going to get the players down, be 2-on-2. Azeka still did find Dreamus coming in from the highway, kind of passive now from Zalgiris, but they do smoke off Carcass, but at least now they know his position. He's right behind the forklift, and as they push out Tentrons, he does not know that Carcass was pushed out, it looked like at the end. As Walkman now with the Molotov, can he force out Carcass? He will, so that's 1 kill, but he still has to find 2 more players, and you can see that
there's actually going to be one, as Butters actually dropped out, and the match is going to be paused as he's still experiencing these issues. But back to the match, you can see Walkman backing off, realizing he's not going to be taking this round, and Ikas tried to save the AVP, didn't manage to do it, but Team Refuse do get the round, and it is going to be 8-1 as the CT's money is going to be crumbling, obviously, off this loss and not being able to save almost any weapons apart from Walkman having that AK, and it's going to be a tough decision for Zalgiris in terms of what to do right now and how they should act. Obviously, a force would be justifiable. We do have information from Carcass saying that the internet connection was lost, and there is a computer restart coming out from Butters at this stage. So for CTs, I mean, for Zalgiris currently, it doesn't look like they were very eager initially, but after starting like 5-0, you can see them started to slowly crumble. This retake still looked very solid, extremely solid there, but Carcass just doing great work of keeping those players in one position and not allowing them to push up front and therefore kill the player in sight.
And as well, Team Refuse, they know how Zalgiris will play this one, and we saw that, I believe it was 2 players towards sides, one towards Forklift and Haflex. He pushed up front just so he could get that initial players coming in, like surprise them. So they know that those retakes will come in. And putting up the aggressive play, I think Zalgiris, they don't look like at this point they have an answer for that.
No, not really. I feel they're slightly lost, and from Team Refuse's side as well, they're not really doing anything that's too surprising.
Yeah, as well.
Like, they're not playing any crazy strategies. They're not running out like maniacs. They're just hold for a push, wait for a push. The push comes in most of the times.
Yeah.
They get an entry. They wait a bit more, wait for the CT players to obviously spread out, and then they just take the side together. And it seems to be working out. So Obviously, for Team Refuse, I don't think we're going to see any sort of switch of pace, other than perhaps a very fast split into a site. As you saw previously, all players just instantly went towards A, didn't even care about mid control, didn't care anything about B, and that just happened to be the round where players were slightly off site on A.
Exactly, and I thought that that would work out for Zalgiris, but the one thing that does not work out for Refuse, I think that they don't even want to take mid control, because when they went there, they had the op against them as well, the players up close being shut down, so they can move in that freely to play from there. So they don't want to lose those players that fast.
Yeah, and obviously, if the current pace works, why change it? Like, there's no reason. We are going to be going back into this match. You can see the CT players are buying a few pistols there, apart from Anyhow, who's probably saving for the AVP here, and he's going to be only with the USP. Few CZ there, and a P250 on Reggie. Walkman is going to be boosted into the vents position here to see if he can do some damage in middle, as there is someone already checking there, and actually
the grenade
does damage
towards A main. Like Team Refuse, they know that someone has to come out here in the pistols. Like, there's no other way, and even Butters, I think he was fully flashed when he got that kill.
And Butters already on 2 kills, looking to get more, as there is still one more player in A site. Just a few trades going backwards and forwards, and that is Reggie going to be dropped on A site. A site is clear, information is coming through about it. Carcass does have the bomb, and I think he just heard the player behind and is aware that a flank is happening. Ikas takes care of him, and that is only Walkman left in connector with the AK once again in a situation where he should be able to excuse me, he should try to save, but as I say that, he already gets
He
dropped.
was in a pretty bad position, and as well, he was his crosshair placement was not towards like player being close.
Yeah, he was probably still expecting a player to be crossing under vent, and therefore the positioning was slightly higher, but he should be understanding that, well, the players are going to be pushed up close. Actually, an MP9 from Centron's coming out, so he's going to be pushing up close and see if he can get any early kills here. And you can see the CTs are trying to be slightly more proactive in middle, understanding that the long-range battles are just not working out for them.
Here, Butters, how aggressive will he be as he comes out and Centrons does not see him? This is so weird! And now only Centrons finds him. They were like back against each other, and they still didn't see each other.
We've seen that also in the bigger events happening in that exact same situation. So you can see timing is key, as actually a flash is going to be going towards A, and Pone comes out walking from the doors looking for the CT player, finds him inside, but actually Reggie drops him. And now 4 versus 3 situation, as Carcass is in A main looking to get a trade kill. Is going to be crossing off, smoking off the cross position there and actually mollying the site. So just looking to flush out any players from their positions, and it's not going to be happening, as Ikas and Halflex here slowly taking control of middle. And there are 3 CTs towards A. Let's see if Team Refuse can make the correct call.
And Nico sprays and he gets both. With the spray here, Carcass now with the up 1v3. Can he now go for the bomb plant? As the bomb is towards middle, and yes, and Centrons knows it, Walkman knows it. It's going to be pretty interesting one.
They're both in connector. Look at their positions. They're both in connector, so Carcass can still do this, especially if they've...
But this was, I guess, their plan.
Textbook. If you're unsure, double peek it, and at the same time, don't be afraid. If he has the AVP, he can only get one, and that's exactly what happens. Centrons manages to retrieve the AVP for his team, which is obviously extremely good news, as their money situation is not the best, but doable. And you can see that the terrorists, of course, have no problem of rebuying fully into this round just yet, as they will be splitting up for another very default-looking round coming out from Team Refuse. And actually, Tentrons already has taken some damage as he was crossing towards the white box, I believe.
Yeah, he did, and there was, I believe it was Halflex who tried to kill him off, but no luck there. And at this point, I'm thinking, if Team Refuse, are they just waiting for the aggression from Zalgiris? But what I've seen, that they are holding basically the Squeaky and as well Toxic, 1 player each, and then when they move in, they just put 3 players just in case. So they're playing that trade game.
Yeah.
And it's working out, and they're just waiting for someone to push through, so that those 1 players at the positions apart in the map are trying to just stop any kind of aggression information play coming in from Zalgiris.
You can see Reggie has gained a lot of information by pushing into A main and actually being in this locker position. He's just now spotted a player there, but he did land a deep smoke towards A main, so the players are pushed back ever so slightly on the T side, as the bomb is going to be making their way towards doors here, throwing out smokes onto A site. So I feel like this is going to be still A push. The Chariots are very close in A short, and the push starts to come through just now. Will they find the CT player in smoke? I don't feel like they are understanding that he's there on the red. Centron's actually found a player just now, but it is fully smoked off, and this wall-off strat is working out miracles currently for Team Refuses. Anyhow, can't do much with that AVP.
Yeah. And you can see Team Refuse, they're not even planting the bomb. The time's running out, but they're not too scared of it. They kind of know that no one is close to them. As now the bomb will be planted, and it's going to be 4 against 4 retake. I think from back lines, Dreamus already has been taken down. And Nico, he can't even get any kills with the AWP. They needed that. You can see Team Refuse just slowly peeking out, and Zalgiris not expecting for them to be at those positions. But at least they do manage to save the M4 and an AWP. As you can see, Team Refuse, they don't want to push that far, as their money has now gotten in a bit bad stage, I would say. And just saving those 4 AKs will get them back. And how in the God's name did that not hit? But finally Walkman gets the kill, as he will take off some weapons from Refuse.
He's actually, Carcass is pushing up very close and doing the smart play, and unfortunately he's still going to be eventually dropped. Carcass did have the money to rebuy, so he can allow himself to make these pushes, as Ike is now looking just to drop the players, but they hide away and they will save the AVP and the M4. As you can see, Team Refuse still can allow themselves to buy out, so their previous pushes in terms of trying to get these weapons out from CTs are justified. You can see that the team captain is, the team in-game leader is very aware of the economical situation, and therefore making the correct call to go for those pushes if the money allows so. As Walkman is going to be peeking into B lobby, not going to be finding a player just yet, but there is one nearby, and he's going to see the nade being thrown, so paying close attention.
Carcass, he was trying to go for a no-scope onto Reggie there, but it was Reggie with the deagle who finds him. And even though like CT's or a terrorist player knew that he was there, he still peeks in. But now a push towards B side, they almost get the player in CT, as now Walkman starts peeking, but he still gets the kill with the AWP. The grenade kills him off, but it's going to be 2. Now only 1 player remaining for the side of Team Refuse, as Butters knows that there's a guy in the sights, but he can't do anything about it, as he was being pushed from every single position.
Yeah, so slightly backwards and forwards going there. You can see once again, even though CTs win the round, the money is not really there for them for it to last for the last round in case they lose this one, excuse me. So it is going to be 10-3. You can see actually there's a MAC-10 and a CZ only on the terrorist side, as 3 AKs on top. So not the best of buys they could do. So most likely we'll see, I would say, this A split from them they had previously. Yeah. They're looking to find an entry in middle, as Halflex is going to be boosted up. Will he expect Centron's position here? And will they check?
I think now with that smoke coming through, he should understand where it came from.
He should have heard it was up close, so there's obviously not too many bounces were happening. Centron turns away from the flashes. Here's the players drop down and actually finds the first kill here, and dropping Team Refuse down to 4 players, which all are towards A, as the push instantly commences, and rightly so, as they understand that player is still deep in middle. Not checking the site there, Ika's understanding only now that there is a player, and it is going to be a 4 versus 2, and CT shouldn't really allow this bomb to go down. Fortunately, it will for them, as it is going to be a retake situation, and well, Ika's
I think Ika's position is known because he was peeking forward, but then he runs into almost 3 players there, and Polm here with the spray gets only 1. And Zalgiris then managed to retake, and this was a round the Team Refuse decided to force up. I thought they were going to play a bit more, I guess, like smarter at that stage, just going for the eco and then going for a fast play maybe, because that seems to be working out for them.
Ideally, yes, but look at the scoreboard. It's 10-4. I mean, if they feel confident enough, which rightly so they should do, they're allowed to play around and have fun a bit in these rounds. As you can see, they're going to be forcing up once again 2 AKs, 1 Galil, and 2 CZs on Team Refuse's side. Walkman with the AVP still is most likely going to be looking towards into B, drops down and doesn't see anyone just yet, as most of the players, actually all of the players, are towards A, and Ikis finds an entry on Reggie, and that should be an instant push just off that. Centrons is falling back to the side, understanding he's in danger, and calls for a rotation.
I don't understand why Zalgiris do that, because you can see already when Team Refuse, when they move into A main, they instantly check for that.
Yeah.
If there's someone play like boosted up or anything, and they're still going in there.
This is something that they're not really telling their own teammates. As Zeniho actually finds 2 players here. Can he get more as the terrorists are pushing in? Finds the third one. Actually, 2. That's going to be Centrons. And Zeniho eventually does find his 3rd kill here. Only Carcass left with the Galil. My God, what a hold from him.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very solid spray there. Actually, he started off spraying there. I think he still saw the players, but towards the end got flashed there. So good job from him. Excellent spray control, and 10-5 for Team Refuse.
And when I saw Team Refuse 3 players moving into the site, and I saw 2 players from the site CTs peek out, I thought that's just disastrous. There's no way they can get it. But it kind of went their way, and let's see if this pistol round goes their way, since they definitely need it. Let's see if it's going to be a fast push, because they do have 2 smokes and a Molotov as well. And even one more player towards B, as he's just going to smoke this place off. So kind of taking off the attention from the players on A side. The Molotov as well being dropped down. You can see even Ikas just getting back just in case if he needs to rotate. But now the smoke has landed and the push should commence any second as they're moving inside. But Ikas, he's ready with the space. He's going to get 1 kill. He's looking for more headshot, but the bomb will be planted. He can do whatever he wants, but it is there.
There is still a Molotov on Centron, so this can still potentially be a very dangerous round from Zalgiris, as Haflix uses his molly and Reggie drops Butters instantly, and Haflix trades with Reggie there. So is this still 4 versus 3 as Walkman will find a player? Will he get more? No, he won't, as Carcass shuts him out and Centron uses his Molotov. Not allowed to
bomb is being still defused. It's still diffused. Even with the Molotov there, they couldn't do it.
I feel like because of the smoke, he wasn't sure where the smoke was exactly placed and didn't want to bounce the Molotov into the smoke. So therefore, slightly unfortunate there for Zalgiris, as it is going to be 11-5 for Team Refuse. And Reggie is picking up a P250 as well as the Centrons picks up and only 1 flash. So this should be a fast play coming from the terrorists.
It looks like that's going to be the case. As at this stage, we're seeing aggression coming out from Sorry, who is that in the middle? That is Pone trying to find the players. Will he check this close right corner and instant headshot onto Walkman? So CTs, they go for information play, they get it, and they get the advantage early on.
And you can see 3 players already towards A expecting this push to come through, and I highly doubt that Zalgiris will do much here, as they're still holding, still waiting, and Butters now will actually find Dreamus with the USP. So not really sure how that happened there.
Very lucky, but Pone, he managed to get 1, but he gets up down to 11 HP as Carcass Snakes comes in, takes down the last 2 players, and weirdly enough, all players arrive for Refuse, so they can continue on just racking up the money, but they should realize that the AKs are coming out for Zalgiris.
Yeah, Zalgiris are pressured into, well, not really a desperate play, but this is a very important moment where they decide the future of their economy. So they need this round. You can see they all have 5, all the team members have smokes in their inventory. So let's see how they're going to make use of it, as they did go for a boost, but the molly instantly stops it. There is no one-way smokes being used to peek into middle, so they're just going to boost once again up anyhow and see if you can find a player here, as here's a player towards white box and just unsure if anyone is pushed up close. And so once again, information play from Team Refuse. They opened the doors, checked Pone, actually just making sure no T's are up close indoors to make sure his teammate is going to survive that. So they do understand. They're looking actually to peek into main now, as a molly goes through and another molly drop deeper into A main, and they still don't find any players here. Zalgiris playing extremely slow so far and just holding for any sort of pushes, and Pone actually pushed up extremely close, eager to find these kills. He hears the players in middle. Does he find anyhow up in boost?
The timing could be crucial here, because there is Centrons coming through. Let's see what he can do. Pone with 1 kill and instantly gets back. Okay, this is just Team Refuse playing their own game at this stage.
Once again, information plays coming through, and it seems like Pone also aware that a player is indoors. The doors actually open up, and can Pone spot the player crossing back and do some sort of damage to him, as Reggie is slightly...
And Team Refuse, they're rotating away. So I guess Reggie, he sold it.
The B side is empty. The B side is empty.
Reggie sold it, and now Haflex with the Molotov just in case they decide to plant in that position. But AKC has found 1. There is Haflex with the second. Only 2 players will remain. It was 4v5 when they started to push towards B side, but it quickly has turned into 1v5 as Dreamers went down as well. And now Centron is looking for the players, but Halflex plays perfectly around that edge of the site to put his head up and down. So Centron's can't hit it.
So even selling the push towards A, they still managed, that is Team Refuse, still managed to get the round, leaving the B side completely empty there. Just unfortunate news for them, as it is going to be 13-5, and their money situation is not getting any better. They took the risk of buying into AKs, understanding that if they lose the round, most likely they've lost the map there. And it does look like so far as the Zalgiris players are going to be heading towards B and making quite a lot of noise in the process initially.
I believe Reggie was not spotted, but Butters was not spotted, but here's going to be one kill for him, and that's going to be it. But luckily for him, Halflex, he is in the vents, so he can stop this kind of aggression coming through, as now one player will go towards the vent room, and I think he just heard the guy stop there. But already Karkas trying to peek in the side, as Halflex drops down, we're going to get one player, and the second player, Pone, dropping down, finding Centron as well, and only Reggie remains. He's going to get one kill. It's going to be left 1v2, as he's going to get Halflex as well. So Akes now, he has to find the 30 HP player in the site, and Grenade will do almost the job for him as he drops down the Molotov as well, and now he can just wait for this to happen, as he had the perfect angle for Reggie to come out.
With extremely two well-placed good shots, and such an unfortunate scenario there at the end. You can see he obviously couldn't really go for the plant, understanding that the CT might be pushing, as well as the nades just coming out, the molly coming out, and he can't even cross over, and slightly even he didn't even stand in that Molotov. The Molotov just barely touched his foot, and he instantly died. All five.
Butters even tags up Reggie with that first peek. Oh my God, this is so unfortunate for Zalgiris. They want to go for that fast play, but Refuse realized that that could be happening and instantly shut it down. You see, there's not that much confidence anymore for Zalgiris.
No, definitely not the confidence that we saw initially coming out from them, and is obviously, understandably so. The scoreline is extremely sad for them so far. Only 5 rounds for Zalgiris, as anyhow is going to be crossing over this box, misses the shot, and Team Refuse once again, and poor Reggie just burns in flames.
The second time in a row, but here Halflex just comes out, gets kills, and Enicho, luckily for him, he's gonna get one, but the players are coming out, and Pone. The nail in the coffin. This was the nail in the coffin.
This was the BM play, because they don't need the money. This was the BM play, as they are very keen to show where Zalgiris' place is in terms of their own thoughts. I slightly disagree. Zalgiris do take a tactical timeout currently, so happy to see that they are still considering options and not really giving up on this map. They are going to be forcing up, and most likely, I can't really even say. I mean, you can't blame them for not. They have tried to make fast plays, and you can't blame them in terms of not trying to switch up the pace in any way or shape or form, and it's just not working out for them, as Team Refuse once again have in the last round found an entry off there, almost a double kill. So, and as I said previously, Reggie burning in flames, perhaps that's where the talk about kebabs was coming from previously in all chat. So I don't know, I feel like Zalgiris are broken on this map and not really too sure how they're going to be looking in Cobble. Will this be another 16-1 on Cobble?
At this stage, it kind of looks like it, but Zalgiris, I think they still have something in store. They should have, at least after that first game, because they would kind of learn how the players are playing.
They're selling an A fake currently, as they have smoked off the players, and flashes are going to be coming through. As you can see, the rotation is going in for Team Refuse, and 3 T players are still towards B, and there is only going to be Halflex on B, as he understands now that it was a fake and the players are towards here. Doesn't manage to get the first kill, gets smoked off, does some damage to
He damaged 2 players while he was trying to save the sites, but the bomb will still be planted, but the grenade coming through could finish off the player. Walkman with 16 HP, the Molotov as well. He will be forced out, but they're still alive in the site. As you can see, Walkman even getting the kill, now pushing forward. He finds one, but with 19 HP, he still has to find 2 more players, and he's going to get pushed here by Dreamus, and Dreamus can get killed. Now it's going to be Walkman going down, and Dreamus from the back lines, but the bomb is not planted for him. It is just not planted there
and now
where he
only
wanted to be.
Dreamus remaining, as he will get dropped instantly, and the defuse is going to come through, and Team Refuse, a very convincing first map. As you can see, 16-5. Wow, I wasn't expecting such a
Not at
stomp
all.
from them. I felt like Carcass's addition also on Team Refuse's side has done some sort of magical work, as Zalgiris couldn't, well, they showed only realistically one round in terms of their amazing retake play, and that was in the very beginning and early stages of the match. So they just got broken.
They did. But I think they won't be that team who's going to get broken in the second game that easily as well. I think they will put a fight, and I think Cobblestone could kind of play in their favor as there is more maybe team play coming in, and I think Zalgiris eSports, they need it now, and they can rely on that.
I really hope they have a deep strat book for Cobble, because Team Refuse, you can see that just playing standard games and just trying to push slightly somewhere for some sort of information play is not going to be working against them. So you're going to need set strats. First of all, you're also going to need very clear rotations and how these rotations are going to be playing out. And if they start to crumble under pressure, Team Refuse most likely will slide away with a win here. Overall, for second map, I'm still going to say it is going to favor Team Refuse. Perhaps not such a big slump, considering everything. Stomp, excuse me, considering everything, but still, I would say Zalgiris are going to be lucky to get anything above 10 rounds.
Okay, so you heard that statement, so be sure not to go anywhere and as well be active in the chat, as the giveaway will come after that game. They won tickets for both days at Hypertown Festival, so be sure not to miss it. But now we're heading into small break, and when we come back, Cobblestone between Zalgiris eSports and Team Refuse.
You spray, you trip. You're gold. Smell fresh all day with new Axe Gold Body Spray.
We are.
Welcome back to the second game of CSGO of today. So Team Refuse versus Zalgiris. We saw Cash, which we thought could go Zalgiris' way, but it did not at any point. 16-5.
Well, as I mentioned initially, they didn't get the strong start off, and accordingly, the match didn't go their way really as we were hoping it would, and Team Refuse just stopped every single thing that they were throwing against them.
Yes, and now it's going to be Cobblestone. Before we talk that this should be Refuse's map whatsoever, and after that game, I think our suspicion is confirmed.
Yeah, our suspicion is definitely confirmed. I feel like Team Refuse will still take this map, but definitely, obviously, Zalgiris, once again, if they start off strong, they still can contend this map. But in general, I feel like Team Refuse have already previously shown us how strong they are on this map and that they are willing to do absolutely anything, even if it means bad manners, to get the game done. And obviously those 2 knife kills coming through from Team Refuse already on the previous map, I feel like might have left a slight impact there, considering the first one, okay, was economic damage, the second one definitely BM. So let's see how Zalgiris feel themselves on this map, as actually Team Refuse have won the knife round have decided...
No. Before Zalgiris won the knife round, and they still started on CT, but still there was no that good of a start. So let's see, Team Refuse can show us this fastest game of the league, as if their confidence is there and if they're looking for a fast game and to get that round difference as well.
Well, for them to have the fastest game, they would have to go 16-0, and I don't think Zalgiris are just there yet to give up so much. As you can see, there's actually going to be terrorist players, that is Zalgiris, going towards B. Smokes out, but there is already Ikas on the platform and Butters there to support them, as 3 players from Zalgiris are going to be going down into drop and just looking to find any players up close with these blocks, as anyhow now pushing B long, but Butters will already find him.
And here we can see that they're trying to get out of the drop zone. Ikas with 3 kills. And only Walkman will remain, but he's being pushed from backlines and from the front. Okay, this time no knife round coming in, so he still has to wait. And Carcass with the last shot. If they had gotten the knife round in the first round, I don't know. Then it's kind of like...
I would be very upset if I were on Zalgiris' team and there would be 2 knife kills in the first rounds in 2 maps. It's obviously not the ideal scenario that you would be hoping for. Regardless, 1-0, Team Refuse do take the round in a convincing fashion due to Ikas. They're just solid 3 headshots instantly coming out and not really giving much hope for Zalgiris here, as they do have bought up now with CZs, with armors and helmets on few players, as there is actually still a Glock on anyhow, as expected, working towards that AVP. They're just sneaking up towards this smoke and seeing if they can find a player up close.
He's no longer flashed, so he can now go for the kills, as he's going to find Reggie drop down and find a player in the site as well.
And in a second, literally in a second, the round goes Team Refuse's way, as most of B players find a kill or 2 here and instantly just takes the advantage into the next level and put another round up for Team Refuse. It is going to be 2-0, as Team Refuse, Zalgiris are going to be going into a full eco, which looks to be like a heavy rush towards middle here. So all or nothing for Zalgiris in this round, as Halflex.
3 kills already. Can he get the 4th? He will get the 4th, and now Walkman coming forward, and Carcass steals the ace.
Centrons, they're trying to trade kills with the knife, going with it in, but unfortunately the HP literally just wasn't on his side to allow him to get the kill, and Halflex just mowing them down with the MPA-9. He was actually on 9k in the beginning of this round, so still 6k remaining on most of players on CT side, so well put for them. Let's see how anyhow will make use of this AVP now that he can afford it. As you can see, most players are towards A from Team Zalgiris, and they're going to be slowly pushing into A long, but little do they know, Carcass is already waiting there with the UMP up close and personal. Sees the leg, does insane damage, but unfortunately no kills just yet, as Halflex now manages to find a player. Can he get more, as he will be slowly sandwiched in here?
But he's still the positioning from this guy, and you can see Zalgiris, they were not focusing on Halflex too much because only Walkman was peeking there, and they could have put 2 players against him. Yeah. So small mistakes coming through.
Slowly, they should have instantly taken advantage of the fact that he's still alone there. They managed to kill off 1 CT player, so therefore they would be only greeted by 1 more in the rotation if they would go in for an all-in push, which they chose not to do. Lost a player essentially for free there. As you can see, Halflex still alive and still a threat with the 6 HP deep back into sight, just making sure no terrorist players are lurking through, as they're actually gathering now towards B, and obviously Team Refuse already played before them on the previous map, understanding that it is going to be a group effort coming out from Zalgiris, and Aika's position here is probably the best you can hope for. As that
Can he get the timing? He will almost get the timing, as now the Molotov will come off from Zalgiris as well, as the flash comes and the smoke as well, I believe so. And they should now be ready, Zalgiris, for the push. But Ikas is ready as well, as he tags up the first play. But there's an eco with an instant shutdown. And now Butter is waiting in the side. He won't be spotted just yet. But Centron still with 4 HP survives. That's not going to be Pwn. And Halflex for the retake. Pwn finds one. The bomb will be planted. And looking for one more kill, as he kills an eco guy with the op. I know why he was put in the site, as Reggie now with 15 HP waiting on the platform. And this does not look easy for Reggie, as the bomb should start, and Halflex instantly shutting down the player. So 4-0. Zalgiris, at least they got the bomb plant the first time.
They did get the bomb plant, and it looked actually very scary there for Team Refuse for a second, as Halflex was still on only 6 HP. But Team Refuse managed to bring the round back. Have very solid work from Centrons there in that high pressure situation, finding the necessary kills and giving the opportunity for their team to actually make the bomb plant happen, which has consequently allowed them to buy these AKs as well as a few smokes. So there is still an option to go for a set strat there. Of course, an abundance of nades on Team Refuse's side. Literally every single type of nade out there is on their side, and no players towards A from Zalgiris just yet, as they're going to be pushing into B once again. And you can see the CTs just making sure nothing cheeky is happening in the drop zone.
Team Refuse, they like to put the player up on boost towards drop zone, just so they can get in there and get the information. But we see they're even not doing that. So they have a lot of attention towards this game, not to give any silly rounds away.
Yeah, they understand that any sort of situation might be happening. If it is an eco, there's still going to be players grouped up, so no point of boosting anyone up. Just need to make sure no fast plays are going to be coming out. And Butters is being tested here with the AVP. Still, shots are going through, but no damage onto him just yet. And he smokes himself off, as Pwn already finds a kill, and Reggie instantly trades Pwn with another one. And Butters now...
He missed the shot. He missed the shot. He couldn't take down Walkman there, who was jumping around the site. But still, the situation is 3-on-3. And as we can see, this is Zalgiris. Okay, Walkman's going to be pushed off, but he still gets 1 kill. That is a great trade, but Halflex already has found 2, and only Dreamus will remain. But this is not the standard position you see. He kind of gets flashed, and he gets the player who had 100 HP, and there is Dreamus.
Excellent use of that position. Obviously something that the CTs were not expecting, and I must agree. I would never suspect the player to be there, and probably would be slightly agitated if I would find one. And him extremely crucial to get the first kill, and then also very aware of the fact that the second player is around.
Yeah, and the fact that he got the first player who was 100 HP. The second guy was not that big of an issue, since I believe it was Halflex who knew where he was, but he had only like 11 or something HP. Yeah. So not too much luck there. See, Zalgiris this time at least put 1 player behind them just to make sure that no backstabs come through. Looks like Team Refuse would kind of want to do that, but they're going to leave Carcass alone towards A side, and it's going to be Halflex rotating now away.
Carcass actually with the AVP up close understands that no T players are really lingering around T middle, probably just one holding for a backstab, and that is the case. So understandably so that all the remaining CT players are expecting a B push to come through, as obviously noise being made by Zalgiris at this stage, just looking for any sort of lucky kills per se, or any sort of shots through smoke they can land on Team Refuse, making a lot of mollies used here in drop zone, making sure nobody is going to be under them, and they're looking to drop Reggie down, who needs to find an entry now.
But he's going to be fully flashed, and there's Halflex with the kill. You can see the team play come in. The player from the platform flashed in for Halflex. As you can see, one more player will drop down, but Pwn, I believe he heard that. And now he can easily drop down, get the kill. As you can see, Zalgiris, they're just getting picked apart.
Yeah, Centron's even pausing there in the middle of nowhere for a second, just trying to understand what the hell is going on. There's no trades going through. He peeks down. He has only a Mac 10 and doesn't really understand that the players are up close. Will know it now, but will they push as they get flashed? Ikas gets the kill on Walkman. Can he find Centron's here? And he will close out the round. And that is once again terrible news for Zalgiris, as they will be reset off of this. You can see the money situation is not great. 3 players on 1-4, 1-5, and then there's going to be 2,900 on Reggie, who can allow himself to buy like a pistol or something. And it looks like Centrons is actually forcing up.
They're almost, they're all are forcing up, except for Nico, so he wants to go for that up quickly. They understand that even on T side, they're going to need it.
And Karkas peeking down A long, that is, and doesn't find a player just yet. There are still 2 terrorist players around that area, just waiting for any push. I don't think Karkas should be pushing here, but he is very tempted. And let's see if he can find a deagle kill. And oh my god, he finds the headshot on Dreamus, even when Dreamus had the angle on him. So extremely quick work of that AVP, and that should trigger a push towards B. As you can see, Butters already making work with the M4 there.
And he's going to get 2 as he found Sentinels, he found an echo, and we can see now at this point Zalgiris, they can't quite group up. If Walkman wants to go towards Reggie, there's going to be 2 players not allowing.
Exactly, they can't even pick up the bomb at this stage. They should just see if they can get a weapon or 2, as Haflex already will find Walkman, and now only Reggie remaining, and 2 CT players pushed up close. They're just spraying through everything.
And they're just looking for sound clues, if there's something there.
So sound cues going off, Reggie being dropped, and it is already 6-1 from Team Refuse. Once again, as you can see, an extremely solid hold coming out from them. And no real surprise there so far coming out from Team Zalgiris. Haven't really seen too many set strats also.
No, at this point, not too much. I like how they use their flash and everything else, but even when they use flash, Team Refuse, at least Ikas, who was time to time boosted up there, he still evades those flashes. He still manages to stop the players to come through. So Zalgiris, they do have those smoke plays there, but Refuse, they know how to play around them so easily.
Yeah, they seem to be, Zalgiris seem to be slightly hesitant at this stage to make any sudden movement. Obviously, you don't want to jeopardize the round for your team, but at the same time, as a terrorist player, you need to make initiative and you need to take control of the round, which is not definitely happening. It's not going to be happening also in this round. As you can see, there are only Glocks on the T side here, and they're so far just grouping up, most likely for a drop push.
And you can see what Refuse are doing. They're even managing to get towards platform, and here is Pone with 2 kills, and he has to get away, as here the rest of the terrorist players will be found, and Reggie can't do too much, and Pone survives with 5 HP.
Pone even gets the kill on him with 5 HP, just favoring the angle there for him. So an AVP comes out on the T side, and I feel like the AWP should be slightly more proactive at this stage, perhaps looking to get a kill or so towards the middle area. Just make sure to clear danger and see if they can allow themselves to peek into A site, but obviously a Karkas being a huge threat there. Once again, goes for the peek, but anyhow, as we speak about it, gets the drop on Karkas, and that's going to be a player down from Team Refuse, an already 4 versus 5 situation. Plenty of time, and instantly a boost goes out from them into the drop zone. And they actually find the kill on Centrons and even them out.
They did manage to do that. Very lucky for them. And let's see if Haflex can find anyone here, as the flash came through, but no one else. As Team Refuse, since they have 4 players, they rotated at this stage 3 players towards A site. As we can see, Butters quite understands that this could be a fake as well. So he's just waiting towards near the drop zone just to hear some sound clues if they will drop down.
And Pone being up close in middle, understanding that no sound cues given just yet, and there is a bit of action happening as we speak now in the drop zone. So you can see the player already rotating towards Ikas, what the hell are you doing into that drop zone?
On the edge of the smoke, he finds a Nico. Nico was looking towards completely different direction. Very unfortunate, as they did find the first opening, but there's already Pone behind lines, and did not Walkman spot him? Really? As Pone just gets the kill. They lose 2 players, but they still manage to save the AWP and score 8-1. As one more time, Zalgiris eSports looking for that eco, at least some pistols, armors. At this point, which do you think is the weakest link in Team Refuse? Which position?
Position-wise, probably they haven't really played anything towards middle doors. They can try and rush down the AVP. They also know that the AVP is going to be most likely peeking A long once again, so they can try to sneak the T players through middle straight into site and flank the
What
AVP
is
Haflex
doing? He pushed through, he pushed around the smoke, around the terrorist to get that kill, to disrupt the play that came in here in Karkas. He's missing the shots. You can see Team Refuse, they're just running in 1 by 1. They lost 3 players there, an expensive round.
An expensive round, but they can allow themselves to do so. So, I mean, definitely justifiable at this stage, just to make sure that the T players are not getting any sort of momentum. You can see they wanted to go for a fast play, and from Zalgiris' perspective, they just got shut down once again with whatever they're trying. Now, there is a full buy coming out for them, and there is an AVP once again on anyhow, and he's looking to get this entry as in return Butters just...
What a flick onto him as one more player pushes forward, but that's going to be Ikas with the kill, as now I believe Butters did see the player with the bomb, so Dreamus, he gets only one as Butters close range with the up. Can he get the quick shot? He can get the quick scope, but he managed to get away, just this positioning from the guy as he's going to go down, but it's still going to be 2-on-2 retake. Reggie with 3 HP and Halflex coming in from the back line, so let's see when they move inside, will they find Carcass here waiting near the tree there, but from backlines, Halflex comes in. That's one player down, and Centrons with 6 HP. And Carcass still with the off, so he's not switching out to that pistol of his, not even using any nades as well. And Centrons can now play the mind games.
And the mind games do commence as Centrons does make sound cues as if he's going away, but Carcass is still not really convinced as to what's going to be happening right now. I'm not entirely sure if his teammate gave the information that the T player is damaged. You can see he's actually out with a deagle, so he definitely knows he's on low HP. Here's the drop and actually gets the headshot on Centron. So Team Refuse just shutting down once again. Ikas, Butters, Carcass, Pone, Halflex, actually everyone on their team are finding crucial kills. Obviously Carcass not really top ranking there, but he does get the AVP kills that are required, especially towards that A-long area most of the time, and Ikas just a beast on this map.
He was a top fragger in the last time as well in the cache as well, so he's definitely showing up for his team. As Carcass, I don't know if he spotted the player towards long, so they might run in a bit of a trouble as both players are focusing more or so towards middle. So they could get backstab. We can see Zalgiris players and Nico and Dreamus, they're kind of hesitant to push in, and you can understand that.
Definitely not the best smokes you would want to push through, as you have no idea what's expecting you on the other side now, as they're slowly starting to clear these angles here. But can Carcass find them and find them in the right time, as Pone has actually managed to find Centrons already, so giving the advantage to his team. And Reggie, as I say,
flash. But you can see the A just being cleared out. Carcass, he misses the shot, but he does not miss the deagle shots, as only Reggie remains and Butters instantly with the CZ. You can't say too much. You can see like Refuse, they like make one mistake, but in return they get 3 kills almost instantly.
Yeah, exactly. So they can allow themselves to make these mistakes as far as they care.
Yeah.
They shouldn't really probably be caring at this stage, as you can see. Once again, double OVP setup continues from Team Refuse's side. Butters once again going towards B, as where most of Zalgiris players are located at this stage, looking for a fast push as Reggie pushes up close, and they actually slow it down once again. It's not really working out for them like in this scenario, and I don't really expect for that to change too much, as obviously the terrorist players understand
Halflex,
they might be on
he's already in T-spawn. Like, if now, okay, they're going to go through now, so he's going to don't have that good of a backstab, but Butters already has found one, and you can see here Carcass just looking for more kills as he gets one off from Butters. He can get the flick on, but there's still only 2 players remaining. As Walkman, he's in the smoke, his position is known, and as he pushes, there is Ikas with the 2nd kill of the round and the 12th in total for Team Refuse. This is almost the same thing that happened on Cache. Like Zalgiris, they're trying to have those plays go through, but Refuse, it seems like they're always one step ahead.
Refuse seem to be one step ahead, and especially in that scenario where they need to shut the play down by getting a free kill on the team. On Zalgiris, that is currently, and especially it works out great for them, as Zalgiris are now second-guessing themselves, so they actually stop midway towards the push. As actually say that they're already going in B site, and Butters here goes down instantly to Dreamus.
Yes, he missed the shot in here, right? Because he can find so much information as he's going to get Centrons, move around. He can find the all player here. He's going to find Dreamus, who was hiding, and only he now remains, but with the spray, he's going to get 2. And that is going to be it, as Zalgiris, they finally get the round back.
A very nice try from Ikas, definitely playing it excellently around these smokes. I feel like if the smoke towards the default position inside wouldn't be fading so fast, he could have potentially done more work there, as the remaining players of Team Refuse were eventually killed off. Walkman actually bought, what was that, a lightning, no, what do you call it, a stun gun? What? I forgot the name of the weapon. Sorry, so he Walkman just misbought there and threw away like $1,000. So
very unfortunate, I have to say. But here you see one more time Zalgiris eSports trying to push towards B site. As Pone, he is ready with the M4 in pretty good position. As he sees anyone, he can take them down. But Centrons, he has already found one of the most key players in here. But Pone, he gets off the AWP player. And we can see already from backline just Carcass coming in. He's going to switch out the AP up towards the AK. And we can see here's going to get one player. How in the God's name was not Dreamer speaking out a bit faster? That's kind of a mistake, as they do lose centrals. They needed that one more addition play, but Reggie from backline's coming in. He can find, but Half-Life at the right time turns and gets the kill, as the half is going to end 13-2.
13-2, an extremely convincing half coming out from Team Refuse. I was reminded by our producer here that the name of the weapon was Zeus.
Yes.
Oh my God, how I could forget it, but something more unforgettable is the half that Team Refuse have just put up for us, and 13-2. For Team Zalgiris, it looks very bleak currently. I'm not entirely sure what they should actually do at this stage.
It's pretty tough for them. Like, even when they move into the sites, you can see the positions the Team Refuse take. They can't be spotted too easily.
They can't be spotted too easily.
They almost will manage to get that first opening kill.
Especially, you also need to use nades to get them out. As Icus already, as we are speaking, opens things up, continuous fragging, quickly running towards A long and trying to cut off any CTs, as almost a full rotation is going to be coming through. And Icus with another kill will eventually be dropped. But now Butter is having a battle here into a site. Doesn't manage to kill the player just yet. The bomb gets dropped in open, and Pone with the flank now. Huge plays have to come from him as he gets the first player. Can he find the second one? Butters will do it eventually. And even in this scenario, they still get this round off the back of Pone, who managed to find the timing right and drop down into the drop zone in the correct timings.
But the one thing that did not go right for Zalgiris, they put only Walkman towards the A side, and as he pushed out towards lock, he instantly gets shut down. And we saw the rotation was kind of slow from Zalgiris. I believe it was Butters who already got to the wooden wall at early beginning of the round.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that information about him too much.
Zalgiris looked extremely confident that it's going to be a B play, as we say it. Reggie and Walkman both find players. Reggie finds the second one. And now only Pone here now gets dropped.
Okay, at least Icus has found two, but we can see the CZs working out, and I like these positions were great. So we can see Zalgiris eSports, they needed to start on that CT side. Get this game rolling. Because you don't see too often players grouping up in those stairs.
Yeah, and it's a very contradictional sort of call to make, to go for that situation. But once again, the CZs up close are extremely dangerous.
Dreamers just spotted Icus.
Icus was spotted. Now does he I was hoping for the timing to be right and him slipping by there, but unfortunately does get eventually backstabbed, so the information was there also.
The forced by round victory. Props to Zalgiris for finding Refuse in those kind of positions.
Yeah, they found them one by one in most scenarios, not really allowing for too many trades to go through, therefore favoring Zalgiris. Eventually, let's see how Team Refuse chooses to play their forced by round, and can they return the favor and just shut them down once again, or will this be another round for Zalgiris, as they are grouping up towards A long, and Walkman will be tested here with the M4 up close.
They do have the flashes ready, so they can flash and go through. As Namaltal will come through, he's going to push two players away. He's going to burn them down quite a bit, but still Icus managing to get the CZ kill, as now only Reggie will remain towards the A site. I have no idea how is that possible at that stage. But let's see, Reggie, he's going to be lucky here as he finds Carcass, but there are still players coming through. So can he find these two players as he sprays them, and he gets only one, and already Dreamers. I don't think he spotted Butters here. So Butters kind of gets past undetected. It's going to be 2v3. He can find the players rotating towards the A site, as now the smoke will come through. And now they just have to find Dreamers in the site, and the round could be theirs.
Does Butter checks this? He's actually checking every single corner and does find the player, but will be dropped. And now only Halflix remaining with 9 HP and goes down as well, as it is 14-4. Another round going towards Zalgiris. So a more solid half definitely starting already here from them. And that is good news for us, because we can start to hope for a closer match, as we've...
It kind of even feels like it. Their hold seems very strong, confident, and we haven't seen Team Refuse. Yeah, and Team Refuse, they don't seem to be finding those easy entries as they did before.
Yeah, definitely not, but...
Ooh, even a grenade kills them off, and now Walkman with Reggie, they just clean up. It's going to be Reggie with 3 kills in the end towards middle. I think this is the second time this happens. So this guy is starting to have a field day, as he's slowly trying to get that top spot in the frag department. As at the moment, Dreamers with 15. On the other side, we can see Icus in those 18 rounds, 25 kills.
Ake is in the tower position here with the Glock. Not entirely sure how many headshots does he need to land to drop a player there with head armor. He actually is having a battle with both players towards middle and A long, but Reggie with the AK kill does actually shut him down. Kark is going for the kill.
Seriously.
With the knife, doesn't get him. Oh. Oh.
I thought when Dreamus was switching the weapon, he's going to grab out the knife and say like, yeah. Let's do it, let's do it.
It did look like it for a second. Even Dreamus and Karkas both exchanging smiley faces in all chat, understanding it's already in good fun. Nice try is all I can say. I mean, it was relatively close if the CT player would
a bit
stop.
faster.
Yeah.
If he would have been, if Karkas would have been a bit faster there, he could have catched him. He didn't get the timing right, but that's not what we're here to see. We're here to see if Team Refuse can finally try to close this game out, as Centrons has already found one player towards drop, so Butter is no luck for him there. As we can see, still Pwn looking if he can find any kind of information, so they slow things down. And do they have a player checking back lines?
And what is this smoke coming out from Icos? I've never seen this lineup before. Is that going to be for doors or?
This could be, I'll follow it just to see where it lands. Oh no, yeah, this I think this is doors.
Okay, so he just lined up with the
Oh no, it's a bit different. It's near the rock. But here we can see Dreamus, Centrons both get the kills, and only Akis one more time remains. So even the smoke set play does not work out here for Team Refuse. And at this stage they should start to be a bit worried, I guess.
I don't think so. I mean, they slightly rushed it. They should have waited for the smokes to pop and go in with flashes. So they just tried to surprise the CT players by hoping that they would be turning away from nades that are coming through, and that wasn't the case, and slightly, I feel like, over-rushed from Team Refuse. A very nice idea to smoke off the rock, as obviously the AVP players are forced out in the open in that situation, as Icos actually, as we speak, does find the first player in drop zone and is going to be quickly rotating towards A, and none of the CT players are actually rotating just yet. Walkman still very convinced the play might come out through from drop or towards B. He should be going towards A any second now.
He finally picks up the op, so now he could potentially find Akis, and he will. That timing works out. And if only Akis would have managed to get more bullets in there, maybe not stop, maybe go towards through that long, just in case.
I would have probably jumped by crossing and not trying to take a battle, as obviously it is ideal if you can get the kill on him, but he should have been wary of the fact that there is an AVP there, and the jumping perhaps would have been a better situation, but it's easy for us to say when we see where all of the players are. The terrorist players, that is Team Refuse, currently are on Eco, only Pwn on the Mach 10 here, going aggressive down into drop, actually finds Centrons.
And he just damaged the players. He didn't even get one kill towards that position, as they're splitting now the B side, and here Eco finds two players, as Dreamus finds two as well. And this time's going to be Butter, the sole hero who can't do anything, as Eco finds three in the end. And 14-7, and Zalgiris looking very strong, 5 rounds in a row for them.
Finally, yes, and Karkas slightly unfortunate for him, as he did find a player that was towards the rock and started shooting at him from the side, but his low HP didn't favor him, and unfortunately the trade didn't go his way. If they could have found a player towards rock, as if they could have killed him, I feel like the round would have gone their way. Unfortunately for them, it didn't.
Dreamus just landed from CT spawn, deep and smoke towards ramp.
Which is
towards platform.
Towards platform, okay,
yes.
so impressive stuff.
This smoke, which they use, and they get the kill, even with it. So Team Refuse, they were not ready for this. It feels like it, because Zalgiris on CT side, they do have a really good positions, and as well, I have to give props for the smokes that they're using and how they use them. Will
Karkas find the player? Actually, Reggie gets the drop on him, but instantly will be traded. As you can see already, Walkman falling back to the next passive angle, just making sure no terrorist is going to be pushing further in, as Pwn already finds anyhow here, and Walkman still having a bit of a duel on A long, but the actual, that is Icos, falls back into danger zone, just making sure to keep the CTs guessing, as there actually are two CTs towards A now, and Ike is doing solid work here. Does he expect a third player to be here? And that is Centrons with the information play now, needs to play it smart.
Oh yeah, but he has to be careful, because Hafez is coming right in from behind, and there's going to be the free kill for him, as now only Dreamus will remain. But as he pushes forward, he will have no idea where Icos is.
And Icos' position, I love it so much, and I hate it at the same time, because every time I die from it, it's just like, why the hell are you even there? But it's an extremely well placed off angle coming from him, securing the round for his team, and that is going to be 15-7. So I feel like we've seen in the previous rounds Team Refuse being slightly shaky, but in this round, once again, it seems like as soon as they get the ball rolling, it is a tactical timeout coming out from Team Zalgiris. So I feel like Team Refuse, if they do get the ball rolling, they can eventually close out the round. It's just they were slightly surprised by how the CT setups were working out in favor of Zalgiris, and then once again being in, well, opposite positions now where they couldn't really trade kills and get an easy kill in return. So therefore playing the numbers game and playing it smartly from Zalgiris, as it is still 15-7 in favor of Team Refuse. And let's just see how they choose to play this round. Is actually Pone still with the MAC-10. Curious to see, most likely going to be heading towards drop zone or fast B, as he does seem to favor the B option slightly more. Instantly a flash over, another flash going through, and see.
Anyhow, he misses the opening shot, and here he doesn't get it, and boom! Instantly, he just sprayed there with the MAC-10. So let's see now, Zalgiris, can they save this one? They can't. Only 2 players remain, as Reggie, he has found one, but it's going to be 2 against 4. As you can see, Walkman, he's getting pretty close towards the side, but the Molotov will stop the rotation in it. And now Team Refuse, they can just get in the best possible positions. And Paul even here with Tiob just looking to get the skill, as Reggie still can't find anyone towards this position. And even if Walkman decides to push in, I believe there's going to be more than 1 player checking that position.
And Reggie already dropped onto 2 HP, eventually gets closed down. Only Walkman remaining, and that is going to be it. 16-7, Team Refuse. Pone with an extremely solid kill on Eniho there. On such unfortunate news for Eniho, as if he would have gotten the entry there, that would have given them at least some sort of hope. But obviously Team Refuse taking advantage of the fact that they've just won the round and they are on the roll and back into it. Obviously Zalgiris being pressured into, we need to hold this, and just Pone comes out with a MAC-10 in a full buy versus a full buy situation, just annihilates Eniho, and finds the second kill also in the site itself. So it's extreme solid work from
They're
Team
looking
Refuse.
so strong. They're really looking so strong. So we could remind you that giveaway will happen soon. But I believe we still have standings to check out.
Correct, yes. So stay tuned for the giveaway, as we're going to look into where the team stands right now.
So was Sports Team Refuse at the first 2 spots, and I believe before we started this one, this whole season of Baltic eSports League, I was already thinking that should be the 2 teams at the top, and
that was your prediction.
That was my prediction.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, it's easy to say now that it is. I completely agree with you, seeing what these teams were able to do. I feel like the remaining of the tabloid should have been slightly different, but the first 2 spots are justified. You can see there's only 2 points between the 2 teams in a few rounds, so Team Refuse is looking extremely solid here, as well as
but the thing is that Fast Sports, they still haven't played this week, and Refuse, they already played this week, so they're going to be first. I think whatever happens, they're still going to be first.
Yeah, I feel like in a 2-map scenario, they're still going to win a map over Vortex. So at least a map, if not both, of course. So.
And you can see Vortex at 4th place. They're tying it up with Skillords, so they need.
Interestingly enough, they also have the same amount of round difference as Skinlords do. So they are literally tied in this scenario. So Vortex obviously need this win. They need to take at least a map off West Sports. So expecting interesting map picks.
Luckily for Vortex, if I'm not mistaken, they haven't played against WASD, which they're going to play tomorrow, and they still haven't played against Aesthetic. So they still have room to work with to get those points in. But for Skinlords, they have to play against Malco. And I can't recall the next team that they have to play against, and you can see that the top 4 is getting pretty shaky. See, Malco, they want to get that 2-0 to get in there.
Of course. Malco are extremely interested in this win, as I feel like it's still going to be a lot of work for them to do in order to earn it.
Definitely.
So we can still expect a few changes to happen, but we can definitely say that WASD Sports and Team Refuse 95% at this stage. I don't know why else they wouldn't. They are going to be into the finals. 3rd and 4th place are under question, as obviously things are going to change slightly as there are still matches to come. What else can you say about the lower side of the tabloid?
Zalgiris, I'm guessing, should have been a bit higher, especially after this week, but they still have 2 more games played. So maximum points that they can get is I believe 27, so even I believe that won't cut it.
It won't cut it for the top 4, but obviously you would still like to close out as high as possible.
Yes.
They were once again tested today versus another top team, so they had a match against BESL Sports, which unfortunately didn't really go their way, and now Team Refuse, and once again, Cobble just seems to be something Zalgiris still need to work on. Even though they still had a very solid CT half and started off strong, T side unfortunately doesn't work out for them, but you can see how hard it is to actually find like a trade kill situation as a T, especially if you're going just looking for entries and you don't really have anyone really close to back you up. Further down we do have Not Like This, which have started off games strongly, but unfortunately weren't able to close out. And then afterwards, XGR Sports, as we all know, cursed with the 1-1 series.
Yes, but as it's even a battle here at the bottom of the scoreboard, since the 9th and 10th place go out of the league, so they won't be invited to the season number 2.
Correct.
So they need to even fight for those 8th and 7th place in the standings. So it's going to be, teams I believe are playing against XGR.
Yes.
Oh, so that's going to be the fun one, basically, for falling out.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. It's going to be a match of who's going to stay and remain in the actual tournament, and who are we going to see in the next season.
Yes.
So they are still, Team Supply is obviously going to be fresher, and coming off that LAN, XGR Sports should be wary of Team Supply and understand that their mentality game is on point at this stage. So XGR do need that 2-0 to secure their position in this tournament further on.
Oh yeah, that is true. But one more thing that I want to say, there is a webpage called hypertown.pro. Have you checked it out?
I've been there twice now.
Okay. What have you read?
I've read amazing good things, and I've read that there are going to be cosplayers.
Oh yeah.
I personally not really interested in the cosplay. For me, it's more about I would like to see the drones in person and see how the drone racing commences.
Oh yeah,
as
right.
I've only seen literally just a few videos, and having something like this in this area of the world and seeing how the big boys do it is obviously something I'm keen on. And just in general, obviously, you'll have great chances to meet people there and have experienced what a true esports atmosphere in the Baltic area at least
That is correct. There's going to be CSGO LAN finals as well as League of Legends LAN finals. But now we can see who from our viewers tonight will get the free tickets to the Hypertown Festival, which will be held the 26th and 27th of May in Riga. So, Mr. Producer, are we ready with that giveaway? Do we have everything set up there?
We do have an unconvincing nod of the head, so
okay, I wasn't even seeing it.
I feel like the roll is on the way, and finally people will find out
Karolis Simkus, I might say it's wrong.
Yeah, Karolis Simkus, if you can, please contact us on the appropriate email address on the BESL's website, just to pronounce yourself as the winner, so we at least have some sort of contact point for you. Congratulations, you have won a ticket. And you don't have to be a subscriber. Still, a quick reminder for everyone in order to
but it gives a better chances to do so. So be sure to do that as well. So congratulations to Karolis Simkus. Hopefully we're going to see him in the event. But for now, that concludes the week 8 day 2. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for full day of CSGO. My name's MV.
My name's V. And
see you tomorrow at 6:30.
You spray. You're stuck. You're gold. Smell fresh all day with new Axe Gold Body Spray.